Welcome to Ecstatic Yoga. Just zoom in my camera in. We are going to be practicing a hip opener flow. I'm excited about this with a focus on surrender. Surrendering to the highest good, to the highest possibility for our own selves. And in that, we have to let go of what our mind may think is the highest good or what our mind may be attached to. I'm happy that you're here. Let's begin. Let's see these off. I'm going to begin with a little short centering. Sitting comfortable, feeling the earth underneath. You can hold a hand mudra. Haikini is one of my favorites where all tips of our fingers are touched in our thumb. It activates all the meridians and it's very centering hand mudra. Just holding this hand mudra, feeling the earth underneath, breathing into the abdomen, the lower belly. Taking a moment to still and quiet the mind and bring the awareness right here now. We all have a lot going on in our lives. To let all that go for this short practice. This will be a half an hour practice today. Take a moment to scan the body. Just notice how you're doing physically, emotionally. And take some time to dive into that inner energy, that inner aliveness. Check in what it's like inside you. And take this time to set an intention for your practice. Something for you that you'd like to create. And stating that as if that is already a present reality in your life. The present moment and positive. Beautiful. And open the eyes. We're going to be breathing into this abdomen throughout the practice. This is the healthiest, most natural way to breathe. It's the way babies breathe when they're born. So when we start to get afraid and get traumas, we start to breathe up in here. And this triggers the stress response, which activate the stress hormones. And then when we're breathing in here, activates the relaxation response and the health building hormones. So throughout the practice, we're going to be breathing into the belly. So let's begin with some circles around the pelvic area, pelvic circles, and find the direction you want to go first. And go slow enough so that you can notice the sensation. And if there's a spot that you want to stop and massage a little, feel free to do that. And remembering we are focusing on surrender today. Surrendering to the highest good, highest possibility. Surrendering all that we may have previously known and believed to be true. Just going to surrender it all and create that nice, beautiful, empty, open canvas. As we surrender all the past conditioning, all our fears and doubts, anything that is holding us back, that is disempowering and negative, any negative conditioning, we're going to surrender. Let's go the other direction. Keeping the breath flowing and really being present to the sensations in the body as we warm the body up this way. This is your time to be with yourself. surrendering any ways, especially any negative or disempowering ways, we look at our body, allowing ourselves to have that body image be surrendered to a new, more empowering body image. We may not know what it is, but just surrendering. We're letting everything go. This or better, this or better, this or better. Letting it go, being in that place of innocence and that place of we don't know, that place of not knowing. We know that we don't know. And then allowing higher possibilities, higher opportunities, higher visions to come forth for us as we let go of our attachments and our conditioning from the past. And let's take the time now where we're going to come into a camel pose. We're going to come up onto our knees. And the first thing I like to do with our camel is to tuck that tailbone under. Take that pelvis neutral. So we open up these lumbar vertebrae here. And as we go into our back, we're not crunching them. Bringing the hands to that lumbar, the area of the back, the lower back. Fingers pointing down in the elbows so they're not flapping out too much, but they're more, coming in towards each other. They're not touching, but they're in alignment. And then we're going to open up the chest and gently have the neck so it's in alignment with the spine as you move into a gentle back bend in your camel. We're going to keep this pelvis so it's over the knees. Pelvis is going to be over the knees, and the hips are over the knees. And you can come down to your heels. I like to come up onto my toes and bring the hands down to the heels, and then move those hips back so they're over the knees, hip width apart. And let's breathe. Chest is open, our heart is open. We are surrendering to love, the highest expression of love in each moment. The highest joy, the highest state of peace. One more breath. Beautiful. And bringing the hands up. And let's move into child's pose. You come down, opening up those knees a little bit. So you can bring the belly in between the legs. Arms can be extended out or alongside your body. And taking a few breaths. With every exhale, allowing yourself to just repeat the word letting go. I surrender. And not even knowing what you need to surrender. Or maybe you know what you need to surrender, and allowing yourself to surrender that attachment or surrender that disempowering way of being. And we'll take a few breaths here. On the next inhale, coming up. Beautiful job. Let's bring those legs out in front of us. And move into a beautiful and gentle forward fold. I love to go into a single leg forward fold. Just feels like I can go a little deeper. So let's take this right leg and let's curl back in so the right sole of the foot is resting on the inner thigh of the left leg. And we're going to inhale as we lengthen the spine and reach up towards the heavens. Exhaling as you hinge towards that front foot. Feeling that nice stretch on the back of the leg. Bringing awareness to that beautiful sensation. And finding your edge here, where your hips and the back leg muscles say, this is good, this is comfortable. We never force in yoga. It's not a striving, it's an allowing the body to open. It opens much better when we allow it than when we force and push and strive. And you can flex and extend that front foot for more sensation. Really basking in that sensation, keeping that breath flowing. You can engage those bandhas if you like, and massaging that foot if you like. And this is ecstatic yoga, sacred embodiment. So we are in the realization that our sacred divine presence is animating through this physical body. And so, even though this physical body is not our eternal self, it's a temporary experience and it is a sacred embodiment. So, we massage our body with that knowing that this is our sacred body. This is the clothing, the costume, the sensory equipment. Our soul is animating you for an experience, for learning, for growing, keeping the breath flowing. And see if you can hinge a little deeper now after holding that edge. See, maybe it's a micro movement deeper. You can allow the head to round, the arms to rest alongside the leg. And just taking a few breaths here and allowing yourself to move into that state, and that awareness of really surrendering and letting go of all that no longer serves, all possibilities that may be disempowering, and opening up to something new, or maybe something old will return. And gently and kindly coming all the way back up. And we're going to switch legs. We're going to take the right leg out, left leg will bend in. That sole of the foot is resting on the inner thigh of this right leg. Inhaling, lengthening, and exhaling, hinging forward. Allowing that these hips to hinge about as far as you feel that gentle edge. And we can flex and extend that foot, keeping the breath flowing in the belly, noticing and enjoying that sensation in the back of the legs as we create more and more embodiment. Embody these legs. Notice the sensation in these legs. The more we're embodied, the more empowered we are, the more powerful we are in our lives. Use this body for our purpose, for the highest good. I invite you to massage this right foot, sacred foot that is your foot, that your infinite indwelling presence is animating through. Just taking a few breaths as you see if you can hinge a little deeper in the hips and allowing the head to come in towards the knee. Wherever you are in your forward fold is perfect. Everyone's body is very different. Allowing yourself to be where you are, acknowledging yourself, and taking a few breaths here as we simply surrender. Maybe there's something in your life, a decision you need to make, or you're at a crossroads, and allowing yourself to just surrender to this crossroads, this decision, and surrendering to the highest possibility for all involved. And gently and kindly coming all the way up. Let's bring those feet together and move into a nice little Baddha Konasana. You can flap those knees. You can wrap the hands around the feet. Inhaling as you lengthen the spine, just allowing those knees to flap. Breathing into the belly, you can engage that Mula Bandha, that pelvic floor, engaging in feeling a lift. Uddiyana Bandha, lower belly, engaging and feel a lift. Jalandhara Bandha, there's 3 bandhas. That's the chin comes in, tongue is on the roof of the mouth. These are energy seals, our energy locks. And allowing those wings to come to a stop and pressing those knees down towards the earth. Letting them connect to the earth. Inhale as you lengthen. And exhale as you hinge forward. And allowing your hips to tell you when you're in a good place. We don't want to force anything. And just taking a few breaths here. Allowing yourself to surrender the highest possibility. For all involved. Surrender all that no longer serves. And inhale, coming up. Beautiful job. Let's bring those knees together. And while we're here, let's do a little balancing bear. And I like to start the balancing bear where we just do one leg at a time, and then we can do both. So I'm going to hold on. I'm going to hold on to my left leg here, and let the right heel just rest on the earth, and just extend that left leg out, opening and straightening like a little micro bend, and opening up a little more, bringing it a little towards myself. Just enjoying the sensations and kind of playing with it and finding your movements, keeping the breath flowing. On the next exhale, releasing that leg down. We'll go over to the other side. And that left heel rooted into the earth. And you're going to wrap the right hand around the outside of the right foot and opening that leg up and moving it in different directions and flows. Enjoying the sensations, bringing your awareness to the sensations. This is how we embody. Allow the sacredness of our soul presence to embody, bringing the awareness in, keeping the breath flowing. On the next exhale, bringing that right leg down. And we're going to move back a little so we're balancing on that sacrum. You can lift both heels up. If this is difficult for you to balance this way on your sits bones and into your sacrum here, then just do the one leg at a time like we just did. That one's just as good. And we're going to open up both legs at the same time to our balancing bear. Engaging those bandhas, and let's breathe. You can find a dristi, a point in front of you that's not moving. You can focus your awareness on to help with balance. One more breath. And releasing down. Beautiful job. Beautiful job. And we're going to stay balanced on our sits bones and to our sacrum. We're going to move into a boat pose. Now I like to start into a half boat. We bring the legs, the kind of floppy pants a day, but the calves and the lower leg is parallel to the mat. And you can bring your hands behind the knees here to help guide you. And we're going to inhale as we lift and extend the spine, keeping the head in alignment. We like to move into the full boat. We're going to extend the legs out, arms alongside the body. Find that drishti and breathe. If you ever need to come back into half boat, feel free. One more breath. Come back to half boat. Beautiful job. And then bring the legs down. We're going to slide forward a little and we're going to move on to our back. Let's bring the knees into the chest and rock back and forth a little bit. Releasing and relaxing that lower back. Lift those legs up. Bring the hands behind the calves and let's gently pull the legs into the body, feeling that nice stretch. And breathe. One more breath. And releasing those legs. Let's bring the legs down and let's bring the feet into our butterfly Baddha Konasana. The soles of the feet are touching. The legs are out. We're in a supine butterfly. We're going to do a different form of supine in a few minutes. Just allowing yourself to rest here for a few breaths. Opening the hips, surrendering over and over. Surrendering to the highest intelligence, the highest and best choice. Possibilities that you can't even imagine with your mind that may be available to you, but are not in your immediate field of awareness. Surrendering to even just the fact that there are possibilities that you can't imagine right now. And being open. Breathing into the belly. Allowing those hips to relax and the hips to surrender into relaxation and opening. Beautiful job. And let's bring those knees up. Knees up. Feet are on the floor and the knees are up. And we're going to move into our supine pigeon. So I'm going to take that left leg. I'm going to rest the left ankle on the right knee. And I'm going to take that right foot. I'm going to lift it up off the earth. And I'm going to bring that left leg in towards the body. I'm going to clasp my hands right behind the left quadricep, the right quadricep, sorry. And we're going to pull that right leg into the body, feeling the opening of the left hip. You can engage the bandhas if you like and bring in that prana and life force with the breath as you let go. Let go and let the God of your understanding bring forth the highest and greatest good and possibility for all involved. Beautiful job. On your next exhale, releasing the hands and letting that right foot come back to the earth. And we're going to switch sides. So the left knee is up. You're going to take that right ankle and rest it on the left knee. And you lift that left foot up, bring the left leg towards the body, clasping the hands behind the left hamstring and gently pulling the left leg in towards the body as you feel that right hip opening. And engage those bandhas and breathe. Bring in the prana, lock that prana in with the bandhas. Surrendering. As your hips open, you surrender the body, the mind, and the spirit to the highest and greatest possibility in each moment for your greatest good and the good of all. One more breath. And on your exhale, releasing the leg. Beautiful job. And bring both feet. We're going to bring them together. We're going to move into our supine Baddha Konasana. So we're going to bring those feet together. Wrapping the hands around both feet. And we're going to first, let's rock back and forth in our supine Baddha Konasana. Supine Supta Baddha Konasana. Supine butterfly. And then coming back to neutral, and we're going to gently with the hands pull those feet in towards the body as you feel this beautiful hip opener. Noticing the sensations, basking in the nectar of the sensations, engaging those bandhas, and breathe. And gently releasing that. And let's bring the feet. The knees are wide, out even a little wider than my armpits. And the feet, the soles of the feet are facing the sky. I'm wrapping my hands around the outer edges of my feet. And we're going to move into baby as we gently pull those knees down towards the earth, opening up the hips. Engaging those bandhas. Let's bring in the prana through the lower belly. Finding the edge there. Totally surrendered. Allowing your mind to be in the space of emptiness, of not knowing, opening to possibilities, possibilities that you don't even know exist. Unattached and free. One more breath here. And move into happy baby, Ananda Balasana. Just kicking those feet around, doing what feels good. And moving into any pose that you'd like to do before we move into our releases and Savasana. enjoying moving and flowing in your body, feeling your body. Moving into our releases. We're going to begin with our hulas. We're going to find those hips, our hands, and we're just going to be swiveling the hips as the sacrum swivels. So I'm taking my right hip, it's reaching down towards the right heel. My left hip is reaching up towards the left armpit, and then I'm going to swivel those hips. Everything is flat on the earth, nothing lifts up. My right hip is coming up towards the right armpit. Left hip is now reaching down towards the left heel. And we'll swivel back and forth. And we want to do this slowly and mindfully so we notice sensation in that sacrum, that lumbar area. Just continuing this nice, slow, repetitive movement, keeping the breath flowing. And coming back to neutral. We'll move into hip pointers. So I'm going to keep this right hip rooted into the earth. And I'm going to take the left hip and I'm going to lift it up off the earth and point that left hip up towards the sky. It's going to be a little diagonal. And then releasing it down. It's a tiny twist to that lumbar area. And moving back and forth, one hip at a time. One is rooted into the earth, the other lifts up. Breathing into the belly, surrendering all that you have previously known. And see if there's maybe a higher truth or a higher possibility. It would bring more joy, more balance, more serenity to your life. It's more in alignment with your soul and your spirit and your purpose here. Knowing that what is true and is yours will come back as you surrender. And maybe new, fresh opportunities and possibilities will arise through this surrender. Higher wisdom. And coming back to neutral. Beautiful job. We're going to move into a little cat-cow, reflection and extension of the spine. So moving into cat, we're going to press the small of the back, that lumbar spine into the earth. Tailbone tucks under. Extension of the spine. And moving into our that's flexion of the spine. We're moving into our cow, which is extension of the spine. Arching that spine up off the earth. The back may still be resting on the earth, but the spine is arched up off the earth. Tailbone is sticking into the earth. Moving back and forth. Flexion and extension of the spine. Breathing and surrendering. Fully present to this moment, to sensations. Letting everything go. All that no longer serves your highest and greatest good. And coming back to neutral. And let's keeping the knees up. Let's take those feet to the outer edges of the mat and let's drop one knee at a time into the center. In our single knee drop, one at a time. Stretching those hips a little, opening, releasing, surrendering. Keeping the breath flowing, the energy moving. Great love for your own self, your own indwelling presence. You are the love of your life, that indwelling soul presence, that eternal aspect of your being. And coming back to center, finishing up this last knee drop and coming back to center. Once both knees are up, let's walk those feet back to the center. We're going to flop them both over to one side for double knee drop. And you can either go side to side with the knees, making a nice gentle pace, or you can lift that top knee up, bringing it over, all the way over to the side and allowing the bottom to follow. Keeping the breath flowing, basking in sensation, surrendering to grace. One more time. Finishing up and coming back to neutral and bringing those knees into the chest and rocking back and forth. And we'll prepare for our savasana, our deep relaxation. Just a few minutes of letting go completely and surrendering and allowing the entire practice to integrate in all aspects of our being. You can bring the legs up against the wall. You can rest the legs out so you're flat on the back. I like to have the feet a little wider and the hands a little wider, palms up. And relaxing and letting the body just sink into the earth, releasing those glute muscles, allowing all the tension and holding in the body to be released and relaxed. All the systems, feeling the brain and nervous system relax and allowing the thoughts to relax and surrendering into that empty, open space, pure awareness, alert, conscious, being the observer as we relax into silence and surrender into stillness. Taking a nice deep breath into the belly. As you gently come back, begin to wiggle the fingers and the toes. Stretching out the arms and the legs. And rolling over to one side or the other. Taking a breath here. And gently and kindly coming up to a seated position. Taking this moment to check in with yourself. Physical body, emotional landscape, and diving your awareness into the inner aliveness. Sending yourself love, sending this inner being love. And bringing yourself back to that intention that you set at the beginning of practice. Now, see if I have a little chant. Haven't done a chant in a long time. See if there's a spontaneous chant inside of me to share with you. A prayer. Ayake, 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 sunane heya, ake seya, honne maya, ake, hey, I honor the place in you in which the entire universe dwells. I honor the place in you which is of love, of light, of truth, and of peace. When I'm in that place in me, and you are in that place in you, we are one. Namaste. Thank you for joining me for ecstatic yoga hip opening practice. Please check out our website, ecstaticyoga.studio, for more information on our yoga retreats and our yoga teacher trainings. I am Grace, wishing you a most beautiful and most blessed day.